This is a modern species of frog that currently coexists with humans and usually preys on insects such as dragonflies, flies, and other small insects. And did you know that 66 million years ago there was an ancient species of frog that lived around the dinosaurs called the Beelzebufo, nicknamed the devil's frog? And this ancient frog is very different from today's modern frog species, where this ancient frog is able to prey on large insects, small reptiles, including dinosaurs, and even small mammals in its environment. For this reason, in this video we are going to discuss Beelzebufo and give an insight into it, starting with a complete discussion of its characteristics, its life, and what paleontologists have been able to discover that make it a frog that was able to eat dinosaurs. Beelzebufo was an extraordinary ancient frog compared to frog species living today, and they had many features ranging from their large size, as well as extreme biting power, that helped them survive in the age of dinosaurs. Beelzebufo most likely had many features seen in modern frogs such as warty skin and a yellowish to green color. Beelzebufo fossils were discovered in 1993 in the Mavarano Formation in Madagascar by David W. Cross, a paleontologist at the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, but it took 14 years to collect enough data to be published in a journal of the National Academy of Sciences of the United States. To date, only fragments of these frog fossils have been found, which have been collected from about 75 different specimens, but none are nearly complete. Many of the frog's fossilized bones are still missing, and as more fossils are found in Beelzebufo, its appearance is beginning to emerge. The frog was originally found in northwest Madagascar, and over time more and more fragments have been found. Beelzebufo is an ancient frog genus, and has a species called Beelzebufo ampinga. The name Beelzebufo comes from two words, Beelzebub, which is often associated with the concept of the devil or demon, and bufo, which means frog, while the species is Beelzebufo ampinga, derived from the word ampinga, which means shield. Beelzebufo is an ancient frog that lived in the late Cretaceous 66-70 million years ago, and it is thought to be closely related to Barubatracis, a genus of ancient frogs from the late Cretaceous of Brazil. The Mavarano Formation is where the first Beelzebufo fossils were found, and other material in the layer was also excavated that helps illustrate what life was like in Cretaceous Madagascar. When Beelzebufo lived in Madagascar, the weather was warm and experienced periods of seasonal drought. The environment was semi-arid, with flowing rivers. Similar to today's frogs, Beelzebufo may have had a response to seasonal and environmental changes called estivation. This is a period where frogs typically find damp or muddy places to avoid drought or extremely high temperatures during the hot, dry summer. During estivation, some frog species may reduce their activity and may be more secretive to keep their bodies moist. This behavior is similar to brumation in reptiles and hibernation in mammals. Brumation is a behavioral phenomenon that occurs in some animals, especially reptiles. It involves a period of rest or decreased activity that occurs in winter or when environmental conditions become unfavorable. During brumation, such animals tend to reduce their activity, possibly cut back on food, and seek more sheltered or dark places. Hibernation is a condition of inactivity and decreased metabolism in animals characterized by lower body temperature, slower breathing, and lower metabolic rate. Hibernating animals try to conserve energy, especially during winter when food is scarce, burning energy reserves, body fat, slowly. Hibernation can last for several days or weeks, depending on the species, ambient temperature, and time of day. An animal that is notorious for hibernating is the bear. Their closest relative that you can find today is the Pac-Man frog, but it is not yet known whether the resemblance is physical or evolutionary. Beelzebufo is the largest frog to have ever lived. Amphibians or animals that can live in water and on land. They can grow up to 16 inches, 41 centimeters, long and weigh around 10 pounds, 4.5 kilograms. Beelzebufo were originally estimated to be about 40 to 0.5 centimeters, 16.7 inches, long, but later research showed that they were about 23.2 centimeters long. And this is a size comparison of Beelzebufo with modern cats. Within the class of amphibians, there are three main orders, Anura, which Beelzebufo belongs to, Caudata and Gymnophiona. The Anura order includes frogs and toads, the Caudata order includes salamanders, and the Gymnophiona order includes ciliates that are long-bodied, cylindrical, and without limbs that make them look like snakes or worms. They have folded skin that makes them even more similar to earthworms. Although it has been declared extinct, the Beelzebufo amphibian was one of the largest frog species to ever exist. The Beelzebufo was a predatory animal, whose large mouth or jaws allowed it to eat relatively large prey, possibly even dinosaurs. Bite force measurements from a series of frog growths show that the bite force of an adult Beelzebufo with a skull width of 15.4 centimeters was probably between 500 and 2,200 newtons. Their bite force was similar to that of modern wolves, which have a bite force of 2,255 newtons, and half the bite force of lions, which reach 4,450 newtons. You can imagine how terrifying the bite of this ancient frog was, which could crush its prey quickly. The Beelzebufo's large mouth allows them to swallow their prey whole, and ambush animals that get too close to them. Beelzebufo's predatory behavior is likely similar to that of modern giant frogs such as the bullfrog or American bullfrog, which are highly aggressive ambush predators that leap at their prey and eat whatever is in their mouths. The life cycle of Beelzebufo is not well known, but it is believed that this genus has a similar life cycle to similar modern frogs such as the Pac-Man frog, which likely spawn in aquatic environments and begin their lives as tadpoles and feed on aquatic materials, most likely spawned in aquatic environments, and began their lives as tadpoles feeding on aquatic materials. The age and lifespan of the Beelzebufo is unknown, but the fossils found from this frog suggest that it could have grown larger as an adult. As more fossils are found, perhaps more will be learnt about the Beelzebufo's life cycle and how they metamorphose from egg to adult. Beelzebufos lived around 65 to 70 million years ago in the Cretaceous period, and they are thought to have become extinct when the Chicxulub asteroid hit North America. Along with the extinction of the dinosaurs, you could say that the Beelzebufo is a species of frog that coexisted with dinosaurs. This is the result of a three-dimensional digital reconstruction, with the blue and light gray colors representing known fossils. Whereas the process of 3D digital reconstruction of dinosaur, prehistoric animal fossils involves the use of digital technology to create accurate visual representations of the fossils found. Common steps in this process are fossil scanning. The dinosaur fossils found are scanned using 3D scanning technology. This can be done using a laser scanner, or a CT, computed tomography, scanner to create an accurate digital model of the fossils. 3D modeling. Based on the scanned data, a graphics expert or computer scientist creates a 3D digital model of the fossils. They use 3D modeling software to reconstruct the dinosaur's body shape and structure based on the information from the fossils. Texturization. Once the basic model is created, digital artists or illustrators can add textures, colors and details to the 3D model to make it more realistic. They can use reference images of related fossils, or consider research on similar colors and skin patterns of modern animals. Rendering. The finished 3D model is then rendered or converted into realistic images using 3D rendering software. This process involves adjusting lighting, shadows and other details to create an accurate visual representation of the dinosaur fossils. Presentation and research. The finished 3D digital models can be used for public presentations, education, or scientific research. They can be incorporated into videos, websites, or interactive applications to allow people to learn more about the reconstructed dinosaurs. Beelzebufo was discovered in Madagascar in 1993 by David Cross and his team. The majority of Beelzebufo specimens have been found in the Anembelma member of the Mavarano Formation in the Baravitra study area. However, the taxon has also been found in the Musrobe member in the Baravitra study area, and the Lac Kinkani member in the Lac Kinkani study area. This is the Mahajonga Basin project site. This image, taken in July 2007, shows a field crew member collecting surface at the site where the most complete specimen of Beelzebufo ampinga was found. This frog took about 15 years to be described in 2008. What puzzles paleontologists is where Beelzebufo was found, as this Madagascar frog appears to be related to ceratophryd frogs such as the Pac-Man frog. While Beelzebufo's resemblance to the Pac-Man frog could be an example of convergent evolution, as the two animals share a similar lifestyle and habitat, the two species may also be related. Beelzebufo's early ancestors could have traveled across the sea using a method called rafting, where they traveled to new areas using aquatic structures across the ocean, but this raises further questions for paleontologists.